High interest rates are shocking real estate markets across the country. The Panama City Beach condo market is no different. There are some additional factors weighing in on the minds of buyers at the moment. Are these headwinds enough to dramatically lower condo prices into the foreseeable future? Stick around and find out. What's up, guys? Eric Lighton, Emerald Coast Abode, your favorite realtor on the Emerald Coast, servicing Panama City Beach to Destin, Florida, part-time gopher at What's Up Beach Vacation Rentals. And I'm sorry, it's definitely been a long time since I posted a video, but I've had a lot of support from this channel, worked with a lot of investors, and I appreciate it. But today we're going to talk about an interesting topic, kind of a current affairs of the local Panama City Beach condo market. Things have been interesting this year, to say the least. So we're in a high interest rate environment, and there are definitely some other factors weighing in on the condo market that we're going to talk about. So today I have had a couple of buyers in the market video me and send me some questions on condos in Panama City Beach. And there's some interesting questions in there. So we're just going to jump right into it.
Hey there, young man. I've been thinking about buying a condo for the past 2 decades, but I've been hearing that these condos are gearing up for these structural inspections and that there's going to be special assessments all up and down Panama City Beach. Is this true?
Thanks for sending the video in. I think we have a distant cousin somewhere. Your question is in response to Condo Law SB4. If a condo is 3 stories or higher and 25 years or older, they're going to require structural milestone inspections to be completed by December 31, 2024, and it's going to also require reserve studies to suggest funding that's mandatory to be funded by the HOAs for a structural inspection component of those reserve studies. So with that said, there are some inspections on the horizon for a lot of buildings in Panama City Beach. They do have to fit in that criteria of being 25 years and older, 3 stories or higher. And there's quite a few in this mix. So if you want to bypass this risk, or at least put it on the shelf for a while until the building ages appropriately to 25 years old, maybe you look for a new condo. That's a way to bypass this whole situation. Now, if you're interested in the older condos, and they're good too, and there are some really well-kept older condos, you want to look at all of the criteria that's supplied to you at that condo review. You want to make sure you look at the budget, you want to make sure you look at the reserve studies, and make sure you're talking to the HO and seeing what's on the horizon in terms of repairs. Have they already done their milestone inspection? There are several condos on the beach that have already dug in. There are several condos that already have assessments in process to address structural issues that they see kind of coming from these inspections. They're preparing for them. So I think, are we going to see a bunch of special assessments all at once? I don't think that's the case, Bert. I think that they're already kind of taking care of it and the writing's on the wall. None of these condos want to be condemned, but thanks for sending the video, Bert. I think that probably helps answer some people's concern out there.
So I hear that insurance companies are pulling left and right out of Florida due to the hurricane risk, and that insurance prices are going sky high. What do you say about that? Go Bills.
Dan, the man from my hometown, go Bills. Great question. So insurance has been a problem, not so much in terms of the contents policy that you get to cover the studs in the interior of your unit. We're seeing larger exposure with the condo's master policies, and that covers all the exterior common area, does cover storm damage and all other perils for the exterior of the building. In fact, we've seen several special insurance assessments across the beach because when it's time for renewal, the HOA was not prepared to foot the bill for that increased insurance exposure. So definitely something to be keeping an eye on if you're considering a purchase within the next year here. Condo insurance, homeowners insurance in general in the state of Florida has been a politicized topic. There is some talk about climate change and the increased incidence of hurricanes factoring in into these increased prices. A lot of it has to also do from a business standpoint with inflation and high chance of litigation involving insurance claims in Florida. I know the Governor DeSantis has recently put forth some litigation to make the environment a little more palatable for insurance companies to operate. He's also laid forth some consumer protection. So all of that's just catching gear, and I think a lot of it coming into effect post this hurricane season. So we'll see if there is positive traction with those insurance prices and some relief.
Condo interest rates are sky high and prices are at all-time highs. The HOA dues seem to have gone up from last year. I'm up here in Fargo, North Dakota, and I need some vitamin D. I need this investment to pencil out. What advice do you got for me?
T. Montgomery, thanks for writing from Fargo, North Dakota. Great question. Pretty much every investor I work with wants to know if their investment is gonna not be in the red. They want to be in the black. They want to cover the expenses. That's the name of the game now.
A disclaimer at the top.
The rental market in Panama City Beach has softened in some areas. So when you're looking to buy a condo, you need to be conscious of what's going on in the rental market. This year, we have one thing that's very prevalent. It's across the news, obviously inflation.
Obviously, Captain.
And that's affecting consumer spending. People have less discretionary income to put into the market and to go to that fancy Airbnb. And we're seeing less demand in the market. And specifically, the units that have been hurt by this are units that are off beach, that don't have much in the way of amenities, that don't have really easy access to the beach. It's pretty simple, Sir Occam's razor. You come to Panama City Beach, you want to be close and have access to the beach. Condos right on the sand are going to fare very well. Condos that are directly across the street from the beach with views, they're still doing well. So keep that in mind. If you search on YouTube, you'll see a lot of videos about Airbnb bust. This doesn't really relate to Panama City Beach. I wouldn't call the rental market a bust here by any stretch of the imagination. It's a well-established tourism destination that has been going on for decades. It's actually a pretty safe place to invest in an Airbnb. It's just the market is a little harder than it was last year when there was a lot of money in the market, a lot of cheap money. That has changed. Be wary of that and be wary of the increased costs. Now, the next thing that you can do to alleviate yourself from being overexposed in this current market is to not only shop around your rate, but to also shop around the mortgage type. So one thing you're definitely going to want to look at is a portfolio adjustable rate mortgage. Some of these local providers are offering lower than market rates and decent down payment options. One that I particularly like is a local option that offers 15% down and lower than your normal condo rate for that adjustable rate. It's typically fixed for 5 years, and after that it's capped at a 1% increase, and that's called a 5/1 ARM. I would recommend definitely taking a strong look at this loan product. If you have some extra cash to do a 15-year fixed, put a little more money down, that's a great option to go. Of course, the top option is to pay cash right now and you bypass the high rates and you're just enjoying that high ROI from the short-term rental investment. Cash purchase is king right now. You can make a substantial amount of money still in this market if you avoid the interest rate exposure. Now, the third thing you're going to want to look at, management companies. Now, I'm involved in a full service management company. We cover everything. There are many out-of-state buyers that just don't want to deal with it, and there's a considerable learning curve to learning the rental business. I have about a decade of experience not only selling resort real estate, but I actually started prior to being involved in real estate sales. I was a property manager, actually had several hundred units under my watch, and definitely learn the business quickly when you have that level of portfolio. There's a lot of moving parts. Technology has changed over the years, but I've had several scrappy investor clients that have been hugely successful in self-managing from out of state. There are some great hardworking folks here locally. We personally use a housekeeping company, husband and wife team. Husband's crackerjack handyman, and the wife's team does a great job cleaning our units. Got to get out there and network with local talent, and you can definitely make it happen. Technology groups together Airbnb, VRBO. There are distribution channels that let you get out to Booking.com and a host of others. Depending on how big you want to go, if it's 1 unit to 10 units, there's a way to utilize the technology. And management fees are not cheap. You know, we charge from 20 to 18% on the rental income. That's pretty much the status quo of full service. There are a few discount ones out there, so definitely weigh all the options. What does your schedule and your bandwidth look like? Are you somebody that likes taking on new challenges and dealing with technology? If it is, you can save up, around 20% of your top line investment. So doing this can definitely help put you and your condo into the black in the current environment. Another thing that I wanted to point out, you can see this graph here, absorption rate being the inventory in Panama City Beach in terms of months, and the sold to list ratio, which is a little all over the place, and that just shows how the sold price fluctuates in comparison to the list price. And you can see there's a bit of an inverse relationship there. We see the inventory going up because of inflation, but the sold prices are coming down to about 93% of the list price. So what we're seeing here is with inventory kind of going up, demand going down, buyers are able to negotiate more aggressively. And there's some seasonality sprinkled into this. In the wintertime, when demand goes down, the sold to list ratio goes down even further, as you can see that a little bit last year. Now, my advice is to take winter seriously as a great time to strike up a good deal on a condo. All right, to wrap things up, do I think the condo market in Panama City Beach is doomed? Absolutely not. Is it harder than 21 and 22? Yes. Higher rates, new condo regulations. But if you take the steps that I stated in the last segment, possibly self-manage, really do your due diligence on the condo you purchase, and hunt down the best rate and best mortgage product for you, you could put yourself in a really good position to be successful. I'm a lifelong real estate investor, and I want to continue to grow and want the people that work with me to continue to grow. So I think this market is viable. Is it for everyone? Absolutely not. I don't think you can put a minimal amount down and expect to be completely managed by a company and to come out ahead. I think you have to approach it pragmatically. You have to put the pencil to paper and figure it out. Investing in real estate market is a great way to increase your net worth, and this market is no different. It's just a different set of challenge. If you have any questions or just want to reach out, my contact information is in the description below. I also put the link to our vacation rental website. So if you want to stay on the beach, take a look at some of our condos, come and stay with us. Until next time, Eric Layton, Emerald Coast Abode, out.